So a buddy of mine is on his way over to take a look at some cedar that I cut down where my foundation for my garage was at. He had a piece of cedar at his house and he thought he could make some shelves out of it, some rough cut shelves, kind of some rustic looking stuff. Turns out the piece he has isn't quite big enough around, but this scrap stuff that I have lying around is plenty big enough. So this video is going to cover us cutting, hand ripping the cedar boards or cedar logs I've got with the chainsaw, and then run them through the planer, and then he can finish them however he wants after he does that. So we'll get started. Well, I think that's about as clean as I'm going to get it. I'm going to go throw my safety glasses on, my earplugs on, and shave the branch nubs right down flush, and then I'm going to roll them over here. This is actually the table I built to do my siding with. I had on my burn pile because I wasn't going to use it anymore, and I think once I make one flat cut, I'll be able to lay it on there and make it a lot easier. We'll see how it works out. My plan now is to actually roll this thing over onto the guide here. So my bud was saying that he thinks he wants them about 2 inches thick. They seem pretty straight. I think I can get probably 3 out of this. So I'm gonna go grab. I have a 2x4 and some screws and some stuff I was gonna screw to this to kind of make a guide to run my chainsaw along to make sure I get the thickness right. So I'm gonna go get that set up real quick. So what I've done there is I've screwed a couple of 2x4s to the ends and to the top. We want the slab to be 2 inches thick when we're done. So I made it at 3, and that way the teeth of my saw should run along that 2x4, and the distance from the teeth to the center of the blade is about 1 inch, so I added 3, so we should give us a 2-inch slab. I've never done it this way, so we'll see how it turns out. Alright, we're getting ready to cut these down to the final width before we run them through the planer, so here we go. Make some of the marks for the brackets to hold the shelves up that we planed and got all ready to go. So we're going to mark these to length. This piece of channel will be the supports underneath, and then the flat bar will be the stuff that gets mounted to the wall. Should make more sense as we go along. centering. And you're responsible for up and down. And I will be responsible for making sure she's Alright, so we've got everything all cleaned up and cut to length. We've got the metal shelf brackets all cut and ground. So we'll get these all laid out. This one's on here squared up. I'm going to tack it in place. I'm going to lay out the next couple. This is actually a magnetic ground, for those of you that don't know. And we'll go from there. Get this thing tacked and lay out the next one. So we've got them all tacked in place, and we checked them, and they're all laid out well. Spacing is good. So I'm going to go ahead and start production welding them out. I'm going to jump around, right? So I'll weld one side of this one, then I'll come down here and back and forth and kind of let it cool down so nothing warps too much. They're nice and square, and I'll keep checking them as I go to make sure we don't get anything really cattywampus. To give you guys an idea of what this is going to look like, we kind of climb through the wall for a second. We're going to throw a board on here, and hopefully they don't fall off of the wall. We'll see how this goes. So that's it. And there's obviously 3 shelves and be anchored to the wall. Looks pretty good. It's going to come out really nice, actually. So this is cedar, and this is just mild steel and pretty industrial looking, but it's going to come out looking really good. We'll have to leave the edge right where that weld was at to get them to slide back all the way, but I think they're going to look really good. Yeah. Yeah, they just barely won't slide back because of the weld.